Hello dear students, in continuation of the chapter that we have started, magnetic properties of transition metal complexes, let's discuss another topic, experimental measurement of magnetic susceptibility. Out of the numerous methods, two important methods are Gauss method and Faraday method. First discuss the Gauss method. Gauss method uses a simple device and it is used to measure the paramagnetism. Now here this is a sample tube. It is made up of Pyrex, so also called Pyrex glass tube or Gauss tube. These are the electromagnetic magnets for the creating the magnetic field. This is a balance to weigh. Now finely powdered substance is taken in a Pyrex tube and the substance is weighed first without magnetic field and then in the presence of magnetic field. So for a paramagnetic substance, the weight of the substance comes out to be more in the presence of magnetic field than in its absence. So that means paramagnetism of the substance is directly equal to increase in weight of the substance. So larger the number of unpaired electrons, greater is the increase in weight of the substance, which means greater is the paramagnetism of the substance. Magnetic susceptibility. Now it can be easily calculated from difference in weight of the sample in the presence and then in the absence of magnetic field. Now how to calculate magnetic susceptibility? Force acting on the sample, or that is in a cylindrical tube, when it is suspended in magnetic field is given by F equal to 1 by 2A cross sectional area of the cylinder, the volume susceptibility, and H square. H is the intensity of the central homogeneous part of the magnetic field. This equation is valid only if the measurement is done in vacuum. However, if sample is surrounded by air, equation number 1, it becomes 1 by 2 A H square K minus K dash, where K dash is the volume susceptibility of air. Now in this equation, one more parameter that we will add. Because Gauss tube, it is a hollow tube where no substance is present. So that means it develops a force which is always present. So to calculate the actual force on the sample, this force which is on the hollow cylindrical tube must be subtracted. And this force is mostly negative as the tube is made up of diamagnetic material. That is why we will add here delta, a new parameter. For a sample of constant length and cross-sectional area. Now we know that vector AH square is constant. Introducing the density of the sample, the equation will become 10 raised to power 6 chi equal to alpha plus beta f dash upon W. So here chi is the specific susceptibility and we have converted the volume susceptibility to the specific susceptibility. So alpha, it is equal to 0.029 multiplied by volume of substance and it is measured in milligrams. So milligrams are the units. So constant allowing for displaced air. So W is weight of the sample. It is taken in milligrams. F dash is force on the sample and F dash is equal to F minus delta. Beta is the calibration constant for tube. Experimentally what we done, the Gauss balance is first calibrated by making measurement on a standard substance whose susceptibility is accurately known, and this standard substance usually taken is mercury tetrathiocyanate cobaltate 2 and its susceptibility is 16.44 into 10 to the minus 6 at 20 degrees centigrade. So from this beta is calculated using this beta value and putting the values of alpha, delta and F, the volume susceptibility, it can be calculated. Now there are some of the advantages and disadvantages of this method. Advantages are this apparatus is simple, easy to handle, easy to assemble, and amount of sample taken is large, so that means forces are large. So that means we can use even a simple chemical balance to measure the mass. But disadvantages is again the sample, large amount of sample, and the important here is in Gauss method we require uniform packing of substance. If it is not uniform, it will lead error in the results. Next is the Faraday's method. Faraday's method, it gives specific susceptibility directly. It uses small amount of the sample suspended in an homogeneous field such as H naught delta H upon delta X is constant over the entire volume of the sample. So the sample is suspended between the magnetic poles, and these magnetic poles, they are shaped like that the value of H naught delta H upon delta X, it is constant in the space around the sample. Now let us suppose a sample of mass m, specific susceptibility chi, placed in this non-homogeneous field having a gradient in x direction. The sample will experience force. Let us suppose it is small f. So F is equal to m x h naught delta h upon delta x. Force can be measured by weighing the sample in the field and out of the field. So difference between the two weights will give us the value of this force. And practically again we use the same standard solution. So force exerted on a standard substance of known susceptibility is determined. So same complex we used. So using the same magnetic field and gradient for both standards, it is S, and the unknown U. So we can have the simple expression Fs upon Ms chi S equal to Fu upon Mu chi U. So directly we can have the value of chi U, that is the susceptibility of the unknown sample. Now what are the advantages and disadvantages of the Faraday's method? Advantages is it requires small quantity of sample. So this is the first. Sample need not to be homogeneous. In Gauss method, sample is always to be homogeneous. So this is the advantage over the Gauss method. Specific susceptibility can be measured directly. You know, in Gauss method, I told you the Gauss method give the volume susceptibility. This volume susceptibility is to be converted to the specific susceptibility, because from the specific susceptibility we can find the magnetic moments that we will discuss in the next lecture. So to conversion of the volume susceptibility to the specific susceptibility, we require accurate value of density, and it is difficult to obtain the accurate value of the density in case of the solid, because the values, they vary according to the packing, the nature of packing of the substance. So this is the benefit of Faraday over the Gauss method. Disadvantage is operators require great manual skill, and since we use only small amount of sample, it is beneficial to one hand, but it is also it has a limitation because of the small amount of sample. Oxidation or any other chemical reaction occurring at the surface of sample may lead to large errors. So next we will discuss the relationship between magnetic susceptibility and magnetic moment, and how we can experimentally measure the magnetic susceptibility, magnetic moment from susceptibility by the Gauss method in the next lecture. Till then, take care, stay safe, stay home. Thank you.